What's up, guys? Back again with another E3 review video for you guys. This time around we talk about Ubisoft, PlayStation, and Nintendo. So Ubisoft, it started out the gate with the announcement of a mix-up between Mario and the Rabbids. Looks like a game that'll be pretty fun, giving the Switch another party game for you all to enjoy if everyone who's on the Nintendo Switch. If you're into the Rabbids series and you don't have a Switch, maybe something that will make you want to buy the Switch. Ubisoft went in when it came to games this year. We were getting back-to-back games with very brief moments, people, talking and introducing games and telling stories on, the games itself. But for the most part, it was literally just game after game after game after game, and more games from Ubisoft. Hell, even Ice Tyler wasn't even at this year's conference, which she usually got all the conferences when it comes to Ubisoft each year. But this time she wasn't there. Maybe there's something going on between them, which they just didn't want to bring her back. Listen to fan feedback, so there was a lot of people who were just not feeling her being a host of Ubisoft's conferences. But anyway, regardless of that, it was just all about games this year for Ubisoft. So what about those games? They showed a little bit more of Assassin's Creed Origins. I'll do a standalone video, talk more about that, and get my thoughts on it. As I said in my Xbox video, I love Assassin's Creed. I plan on eventually getting Assassin's Creed Tattoo. I have high hopes for this game, and it seems like it might be, a very good game, and maybe the most extensive Assassin's Creed game. It seems like there's gonna be a lot of RPG elements in this game. It looks like it's gonna have, that same Assassin's Creed feel that we're used to, back with the first two games, and maybe even the following games like Revelations and Brotherhood. So it's going back to that original Assassin's Creed style and being all about your character and your story and the environment that you're in, not a whole bunch of random shit like being a naval sailing and solving some Patriots freaking issues and shit like that. They then showed off some gameplay for the crew too, and they announced a beta is coming for the crew. I thought the first game was decent enough. It wasn't anything special or amazing, but it was decent enough. I thought the opening cinematics for it was kind of boring though, but I am curious on what improvements they did make for the game and how the game plays out. If it's going to be better than First Crew, if it's just going to be the same game like it was before. And if it is, in that case, then this game is going to be just like the first one. It's going to fall flat on its face and be free within a couple months after release. Now, the often delayed South Park Fractured Butthole was shown. We got a confirmation on its next release date, which is in October. I never played The Stick of Truth, but I am really interested and excited for Fractured Butthole. From what I've seen thus far, it's been very hilarious, though. So hopefully it doesn't get delayed again. We finally get to play this game, and hopefully it lives up to what we've seen and live up to the hype and that's circled around it. Because we're all happy for this game to come out. We're all excited. We all want to experience it. So there's a lot of hype around this game. Will it be good? Will it actually come out in October, or will it get delayed again? Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it comes out in October, we get to play it. It looks like it's gonna be freaking hella fun. We need more games like this. We need more, just pure comedy games where we're not, getting overly serious or competitive about it. We're just sitting down, laughing our ass off, and having a good time. They announced and showed off a brand new IP called Skull and Bones. Think of For Honor or Rainbow Six Siege, but naval battles, and you're a pirate. It looks astonishing visually. You kind of have to hold your thought with a game like this because it's Ubisoft, and For Honor is dead. It's a broken game. Siege is broken. It's kind of on life support right now, which is why they came out with a new thing called Operation Hell. So I'm looking at this game with a side eye because it looks good. It looks fucking amazing. But at the same time, it's Ubisoft, and you have a track record when it comes to multiplayer games where they just don't work correctly. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Will this game run correctly? Will it be on dedicated servers? Is this game going to be stuff with microtransactions? Is it going to be a balanced game? There's so many things going through my head when it comes to this game because I want it to be amazing because it looks fucking amazing. But at the same time, it's will it fucking work? If you're someone that loved the Assassin's Creed 4, this is a game that looks like it's for you. It's just like that. It's the same kind of style of naval combat that was Assassin's Creed 4. It looks great. Also, Skull and Bones is going to have a beta, so we get to figure it out. Is this game going to be a fun game? Is it going to work? As much as I say that Siege is broken and don't support, it's a playable game. For Honor, not playable at all, but Siege is playable. So maybe this game is them getting on track when it comes to making their multiplayer games correctly. After that, they showed off Far Cry 5. I'm not really a Far Cry person, and I've played 4 and Primal, and that was basically it. And both of those are, just decent games. This game looks decent itself. It doesn't look like it's anything special, which, take that from just me not being a Far Cry person. If you're someone who plays all the Far Cry games, maybe this game looks amazing to you. I keep hearing that there's some negative feedback though with some people because they're not liking the setting or who the enemies are. An attack on white people, an attack on Christianity, blah 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 blah. I'll try it out, and that's basically what I'm saying. I'll try it out. I don't really care about the negative feedback that's going on with people who aren't happy about, what they're attacking on and who the enemies are and bullshit like that. People are gonna complain regardless when it comes to settings. So it's just, I don't care. All I want to do is play video games. So I'll try it out. I'm curious enough to want to experience the story. It was pretty cool to see that you can hire a dog as your mercenary dog and it'll kill an enemy and then bring you their gun. So that's a pretty cool thing to see. So like I said, I'll try it out. Hopefully it's good. And lastly, they ended with grabbing the heartstrings of the crowd by showing off a cinematic trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2. I never played the first one, I will honestly admit that, but that doesn't even matter because this is a prequel, not a sequel. The way this trailer played out, it got me interested. But I do want to see gameplay because gameplay is important, not just showing us a trailer. So basically, because they only show this little trailer, I'm guessing this game is in a very, very, very early stages of development, to a point where they don't even have actual gameplay to show. So I do want to see gameplay because that's kind of what you want to see when it comes to the game to tell you if you want to buy it or not. Based on the trailer alone, it does look like it's going to be a hella fun game. They have like a Space Monkey program, which I'm not entirely sure on what it is. It looks like it might be something similar to the Andromeda Initiative, where the aim is to have you directly getting feedback on the game, and you also give feedback to developers throughout the entire development process, as well as just keep checking up on the game's progress and seeing how things are going. Overall, I thought Ubisoft had a very good conference. The only low point was, the dancing part. I'm not into dancing games. I don't care about a concert being done on stage. This is a gaming expo, a gaming event. We don't want to see someone having a concert. So I didn't care about that, and it kind of killed the momentum of game after game after game. But as a grade, I give it a B+, maybe even an A-. If I wasn't looking at Skull and Bones with the side eye, it would definitely be an A-. If you maybe saw like a New Splinter Cell game, it would be A-. But overall, really solid, good conference. After that, we got the PlayStation conference. Started off with some ads and then kicked off with some music. Don't really care for the music performers doing E3. As I mentioned, when it comes to Ubisoft, I didn't really care about their conference. Same thing here with Sony. I don't really care about the whole little musical thing going on. It just it wasn't interesting. The music was great though. It was lit. The sound of music was good, but I don't care for it when I want to see video games. So I care about looking at the video games, not the musical things going on. At the first, I had the issue with the audio feedback, like you couldn't hear any audio through the stream at first. Then they got that fixed, which is after that it was all smooth and good. But even before that, I was still just enjoying what we were seeing. Now they showed off a new Uncharted game. I've never played any of the Uncharted games before, so I can't really say too much about it. It looks cool and has me interested, so I'm curious on if it's any good. Like a lot of people who I've seen feedback wise have been saying it doesn't look that interesting at all. It doesn't look impressive at all. They just let Uncharted rest in peace and whatever. I've never played Uncharted before, so I'm looking at this game as someone who didn't experience the other games. So to me, it looks like it's gonna be a fun game, looking really interesting, and I want to play it. They showed up what looks to be like a DLC or expansion for Horizon Zero Dawn, another game I'm looking to pick up pretty soon. I didn't play the Horizon game. I'm late to the party on that one. Heard great things about it. Also heard some things that's not so great about it. But the expansion looks pretty cool, so I have my eyes out on that as well. After that, they showed off their new zombie game, Days Gone. Looks kind of like Dying Light without the parkour. It's hard to get me interested in a zombie game. I'm not a big zombie person. I think zombie games are boring as shit. They don't have a huge shelf life. And just overall, zombies are just overdone. However, this is one of those games that does have me interested. Not a lot though, but it has my interest nonetheless. If I did play it, it'd be after it was on sale for like $30, $40, something like that. I don't value zombie games a lot. Like, the gameplay looked nice though, and it was a very beautiful game. It also showed an aspect of zombie games that's usually ignored nowadays, and that aspect is the human aspect, the human mindset of humans being dickheads or bandits, or humans, not just being your ally all the time. Like, you have to deal with humans trying to rob you and having to kill, more than just zombies. Zombies are not the only enemies in this game. The other enemies are humans. A bit after that, it showed a teaser for Shadow Colossus. Pretty pumped for that. It was a great game back in the day. Hopefully this is when it's just as good. It looks like it's going to be a remake, which isn't a bad thing. Gets the crowd that didn't get to experience that game into it and have them play it so they can, see what other people love. Just hope they don't fuck it up, because a lot of times when someone does a remake, they change something up and that just throws off the entire flow of the entire game. After that, it hit a low point where it got really, really boring while they were showing off, some multi-platform games like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which looks ass, by the way. It showed off some Call of Duty. Don't care about that. And it showed off VR stuff, and I don't care about VR. I said this when it came to Bethesda. I just do not care. Like, here's the thing. there's no games on VR right now that I care about. That's when it comes to VR. So I just don't care about it because there's nothing I want to play. When they started showing VR, I basically was just like, really? I almost fell asleep. That's how bored I was. It came to the PS4's VR showing. I guess when it comes down to it, I'm just waiting for like a legit Star Wars video game for VR or Dragon Ball Z game for VR. Just something that interests me for VR. But they didn't have anything that interests me. Just like, just get this shit over with, and it dragged on too long, and it just took down the conference momentum for me. After all that VR messes over, they got back to showing their top tier titles. Showed off the new God of War, which looked pretty great. To me, this is a console seller. If you don't have PS4 or PS4 Pro, this is one of those games that make you go, I'm going to give me PS4 Pro right now. Everyone talks about like, is there any console sellers on the Xbox or PS4 or Nintendo Switch? This is one of those games that's a console seller. It's one of those games that make you want to go out there and buy one. Graphically astonishing game, and you know the story is going to be good. So I'm pretty amped up about it. Can't wait to play it. I'm a huge fan of the Norse mythology, so I'm pretty freaking pumped to experience this game. Then they show some cutscenes from their Detroit Being Human game. Being native to Detroit, you know I have to get this game. It's a pretty game. It's not that graphically impressive, but it's still pretty. Definitely gets that Heavy Rain vibe from me. That story-based game where it seems like you're just playing through a movie, not an actual video game, and making critical decisions. And so I have high hopes for it. It looks like it's going to be a good game. I'm hoping that it's good. I'm hoping that it's not another one of those games where it's just like, this is boring, I'm just hitting A every time to just make a decision. That's it. Now, I like decision-based games, but I don't want to play a game where I'm not actually playing the game itself. I'm just experiencing a movie with some button presses in between. After that, it showed off Destiny 2 gameplay. It's Destiny, so you already know what to expect. Nothing impressive. Don't get me wrong. I'm buying Destiny 2, but the trailer didn't show anything to me that tells me it's going to be better than the first one. It didn't show anything that tells me this is going to be better than Anthem. Anthem's going to be that game I'm going to play a lot of, and I'm going to buy Destiny 2 just because some friends are going to have it and do raids every now and then. But outside of that, I don't really care about Destiny 2. Like, I'm already fatigued where Destiny 2 is not even out yet. They ended the show by showing off their exclusive Spider-Man game. I'm a Spider-Man fanboy, so best believe I really like that gameplay. Definitely picking this up. Hope is good. There hasn't been a really good Spider-Man game in a very, very long time. And I'm not a fan of the current Spidey suit, though, or the voice actor for that matter. But all that can be ignored, especially since chances are you can be able to change your Spider-Man outfit, like any other Spider-Man game whenever you want to, so you don't have to deal with the just ugly design of a suit that they have. And like I said, I can get over the voice actor. He just doesn't sound interesting at all. Then they had like a little Miles Morales little Easter egg at the end. It's like, oh shit, Miles Morales is in this game. Like, you can get a hint that maybe you're going to be playing as Miles Morales in his game, or playing him in a sequel to this game if there is one. Overall, I'd say it was a solid conference. VR portion was a very low point for me. Had the same effect on me as the indie games did during the Xbox conference. Outside of that, it was enjoyable. Much like Ubisoft, they showed off game after game after game. Some games not really that interesting to me. Then there were some that were, like Monster Hunter, which is also on Xbox One and PC. That's not an exclusive game, even though people think it is. Monster Hunter is not exclusive to PS4. But like I said, game after game after game, and it all looked great. And they showed enough stuff that will make you want to own a PS4 Pro or PS4. They had a lot of games that are day one buys for me. I give PlayStation a B- for their conference. No better or worse than Xbox overall. Not as good as Ubisoft. Better than EA and Bethesda. Lastly, for our E3 reviews, we have Nintendo with their Nintendo Spotlight, which in my opinion was pretty good. The game plan had to be to announce first-party games for Nintendo Switch because at launch it didn't really come out with anything other than Zelda and there's also Mario, but that's basically it. There's no actual first-party games on the Switch at this moment. There's nothing that makes you want to buy the Switch. At the Ubisoft conference, they showed off a Mario and Rabbids crossover game. They confirmed new Pokemon RPGs in development for the Switch. They also announced that Pokemon Tournament is coming to the Switch. So again, game after game after game, and just let you know that, hey, we know that you guys are waiting for some first-party games to come. Here are these first-party games. And they announced a new Metroid game. Skyrim was already confirmed for Switch beforehand. Rocket League coming for the Switch. You got Xenoblade Chronicles 2, a new Yoshi game was announced. DLC for Zelda, a new Super Mario game. They announced something for everyone when it came to their spotlight. And in my opinion, they did a good job of giving people a reason to buy the Switch. Like I said, They only had like 2 actual decent games to play on the Switch with Mario and Zelda. So now they have more games coming out for the experience, and it gives you to actually go out and buy the game. But once more, even with Rocket League and Skyrim, the Switch, like past Nintendo games like the Wii U and the Wii, lack enough third-party support. It's great that they let us know about what to expect from their first-party side of the game, but they could have also given us some news or some teasers on third-party games that could come to the Switch in the future. With that said though, Nintendo gets a solid B for me. Spotlight was hella fun, it's entertaining. They announced games that warrant owning a Switch and warrant going out and buying a Switch. It was a good little spotlight, whatever they call it, a little pre-recorded thing that Nintendo does. And then, like I said, if you don't own a Switch, they announce things that make you want to go get it. If you're into Pokemon, they announce there's a Pokemon RPG coming. And I know everyone though is like, hey, where's Pokemon Coliseum? So hopefully, maybe next year's A3 or GDC coming up, they'll have maybe a teaser about, hey, Pokemon Coliseum's coming, or some kind of like backwards compatibility kind of thing where you can play old Nintendo games on your Switch, like 64 games, like freaking GoldenEye or Pokemon Stadium and things like that. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys next time with my complete thoughts on E3. Who won E3 and what game was like the game of E3? What I want to see each company do better for next year's E3, and what are the flaws that they had this year. All that kind of stuff. Have a video for that. So thank you all for watching. Please do leave any thoughts, chat in the comment section below. Hope you all enjoy. Peace out.